Hello, welcome back to the Heartland Lilly podcast. I'm your host, Leslie, also known as jakesknittingmama on Ravelry and Heartland Lilly on Instagram. How is everyone? I've missed you all. If you are a new viewer, thanks for checking me out. If you are a returning viewer, welcome back. Thanks for coming. So, it's been a little bit, about 2.5 or 3 months, I think. I looked at it and it was April 11th last I recorded. So, definitely meant to record before now, but I just haven't had the chance. So, without further ado, we're going to start with finished objects today. I have had a few. I'm going to start with this. I have a cute little sweater here. Cute little sweater with a little bit of garter stitch detail in the beginning and the yoke on the sleeve. It was going to be a flax sweater, but I kind of modified it and just did that little sleeve detailing on the top and decided not to do the rest. This is a 0 to 6 month size sweater for my friend who is having a little one in September. It's a marled yarn that I picked up on a discount, out of a discount bin at a yarn shop that I go to. I think it's called Marble, I believe was the brand name. They discontinued the yarn, so I'm not really sure. But it's stripes kind of, and it's all marbly and delicious and pink and purple. She's having a little girl, so that'll be just perfect. I used a size 6 needle for the ribbing on the sleeves, the hem, and the neckband. So, and then a size 8 for the body and the rest of the sleeves. Also for that little baby will be this hat here. It's a Tin Can Knits pattern called, oh my goodness, what is it called? I cannot remember for the life of me what it is called, but there is a cable detail on the front. The actual pattern will be linked in the show notes, and you can find the show notes in our Ravelry group for the Heartland Lilly podcast. If you go to the groups tab, well, I guess the tab isn't there anymore on the new format for Ravelry, but if you search the groups and go to Heartland Lilly podcast, it is on there. Anyway, this is a little tiny hat. I made the 6 month size about for this too, so it can be worn as a set with the sweater. Yay! Next thing that has come off the needle since last we spoke would be my Desert Vista socks for April. I do have 2. Here's the other one. I don't have blockers in here with me, so you'll just have to look at them this way. This is the Potter Series colorway from Desert Vista Dye Works, and I did a 72-inch toe-up sock, just a plain vanilla sock, and then I did a Fish Kiss Lips heel, only I did it in garter stitch instead. I wanted to try that out and see how I like it. And these will be socks for me. Potter Series, Desert Vista Dye Works. Those are my April socks, and now they will go in my box. The May socks that I did was also Desert Vista Dye Works, is the color If They Kill Michonne, which is this lovely pink with a bunch of speckles of purple, brown, blue. Really nice. I do not like pink myself, so these are going for a Christmas present for someone at Christmas time. I knit them a little smaller. Most people in my life have smaller feet than me, except for the boys. They, of course, do not. I have 2. These are the May socks. And I used a 2.25 millimeter signature set of needles that I received for my birthday. The other ones were done on Hiya Sharps, and usually I do most of my socks on Hiya Sharps unless I say otherwise. I usually go from the toe up and do the toe and then go up the sock, usually Magic Loop. That is my go-to, is Magic Loop Hiya Sharps 2.25 size 1. And those are my May socks. My June socks, which I got done a few days ago, I think Sunday, and today is Tuesday or Wednesday. It's Tuesday. I got them done on Saturday, and I blocked them and washed them, and then on Sunday I photographed them. These are for my son. They are Desert Vista Dye Works from the Milo and Otis colorway. It was ordered specifically for him. He picked it out. He says, Mom, I need these socks. So he got these socks. I was going to do them for his birthday month in July, but I did not do that. I started these, and they're beautiful, gorgeous yarn. Started these and finished them. They actually went pretty quick. Today is the 30th. I got them done probably 3 or 4 days ago, even. So 3 days ago. And I actually put a pattern on this leg, and the pattern goes all the way around both sides of both legs, and it is the Hermione's Everyday Sock Pattern by Erica Luter. And I just thought it looked really interesting with the contrast to have that little bit of detail on the sock, on this gorgeous yarn. It actually makes the yarn pop quite a bit more. And I did a true afterthought heel on these. They didn't turn out quite the best, but he won't notice. They'll be in his socks. So there we go. Those are all my completed works for this episode of the podcast. And then we'll go in. I am saving all of these socks for Christmas time, so I can get a picture of all 12 for the whole year all at once. I told everyone, if I'm making you socks, you don't get them till Christmas. So that's just how it is. Also, we just had a graduation here, so I'm a little bit discombobulated yet. Things are not in the right places even now. Was it 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago? Our school here finally had their graduation ceremony. Yes, we got to have one. It was very different. Each family could only have X amount of participants in it to watch. And then we could go in. We had to be screened when we went in. And then we were all seated within our socially accepted distances. So it was interesting. And we had to sit, I want to say, for about an hour and a half between the time we got pictures done and we got seated. They put everyone in 5-minute increments so they could all go in and not run into each other. The family groups all had to go together. Your graduate goes in one door, gets their picture taken, and then they seat the whole family. It was very different, but at least we got to have a graduation, and they taped it for Facebook Live, and they also put it on our local cable channel, so that we could have the grandmas and grandpas and whoever couldn't be there watch it. We had a little tiny party for him right afterwards with just some food and just basically family members, and I had tables and chairs and stuff set up outside. Everybody was pretty well distanced out, but we had it here because it was all last minute. We didn't know what was going on, so it was just one of those things, and it was very different. and I'm glad I never have to do it again. Well, right now anyway. Uh, he is my only child. Robert has a child, but I would assume that his family is probably going to do things a little bit different even from what I just did. So we'll have to see how that works. Let's get on with works in progress. What I have in my hands right now, I don't know if you can see, but I was working on something, is just a pair of 2 at a time socks that I'm working on. It is my in between Desert Vista months, and I can't start my July socks yet. I do have the yarn caked up for that. It is not in here, of course. Not prepared. So this is 2-color yarn. I did some contrasting cuffs. I'll probably do contrasting heel and toe on these as well. This green, this beautiful, gorgeous green, it is a Cascade Heritage. So it's a commercial sock yarn that I bought. Oh, I probably bought that up in up the last time we had to go to a doctor's appointment for the children up in Sioux Falls. My sister has to go to Sioux Falls quite a bit with a couple of her kids. And there is an actual yarn store there in a house. It's gorgeous. It's a gorgeous big Victorian house that the downstairs is converted into a yarn shop. So when I went there last, I got these, and these are both Cascade Heritage, and this one is just 20 rows, 2x2 ribs. I'm doing from the cuff down this time, something different. And then this purple and green color, I thought they went well together. This purple and green. This is another Cascade color. I see my winding job is wonderful. If you can see the colors, there you go. Just some purples and greens and some white. Looks pretty nice. And then I'll put the green on the heels and the toes at the end, and maybe do a green pair with the contrasting main color, the purple and green. Maybe I'll do another pair that way and just make the contrast be the other color. I'll have enough left when I get done, so I think that'll work out pretty good. They're on a 40-inch magic loop, a Hiya Sharp 2.25. They are in my Patriotic Doggies knit bag that I made. I still have some fabric of that. I think I need to make another couple of bags. Maybe I'll get them for sale at some point. The second thing that I have on my needles is, keeping with the baby theme from a little bit ago, is this blanket that I've just kind of been doing. I'm doing a washcloth pattern and increasing to the middle, and then I will decrease. It is huge right now, but I want to get almost to the end of the ball of yarn that I'm on, and then I will decrease and go the other way. It is just a striping blanket that I've just kind of done. I'm not sure how I'm going to go, if I'm going to do the same colors and the same progression on the other side or not. I don't know. It doesn't matter. It's just a fun little baby blanket made out of some chunky yarn that I threw on some Hiya Sharp. I have an interchangeable, oh, here it is right here. A whole interchangeable kit of Hiya Sharps in all the sizes that I use, and they're in this little bag right here that I use a lot, and I love them. They are my favorite. And this, I just striped as the color came in. I'm using a chunky, bulky weight yarn from, nope, it's a worsted weight. It is a Knit Picks Brava worsted. It feels like a chunky, so it's kind of on the heavier side of the worsted weights. It's Knit Picks Brava. And they had a sale, I don't know, about 2 years ago, and I have quite a few balls of it, and I thought, oh well, heck, that'll work. And it is 218 yards per 100 grams. And actually, I have not used a whole ball of the gray or the purple. I have used one whole ball of the pink. And you can see here where I started the second ball. Right about the time I get done with the second ball of yarn, I'll be going back the other way, and it will actually be a huge blanket by the time I get done. But winters here are cold and babies are little, so that'll be just fine. It'll work just fine, and I'm sure she'll love it. At this point, it's probably going to be big enough for mom and baby to kind of cuddle up here. Kind of cuddle, and mom's arms can be covered up, so that'll be nice. I have just one more project, I think, and that was a stitch marker that fell on the floor, so I'll just leave that for now. I have been once again working on my Vortex shawl. Yay! So Vortex is a free pattern on Ravelry. I do not remember the designer's name, but I will link it in the show notes. That will be found on my Ravelry page for the podcast. It is a beautiful Vortex, and it's all scrunched up on the needles. At this point, I am at 620 some stitches around. I still have that much yarn left. I did rewind the cape though. It looks a lot better than it used to. This started out being around 1,000 yards, and I'm sure that, let me see here. It doesn't say how many grams are in the yards. It doesn't say how many grams were in the ball, but I know I have around, what did I think it was? I weighed it the other day and it was around 60 grams yet. So I'm going to use quite a bit of this yet. I think I'm going to go about half of this ball and then do a bind off, an edging and a bind off. I did, however, find different alternative bind offs for this, and I kind of like them better. I really like Ravelry, where you can put in your notes for the things that you have done. And if somebody has done it different, you liked how it looked, maybe they'll, you know, post what they did to change it. And I love that. And I did find one I liked better. And we'll just have to see. I didn't know about the picot edging on this anyway. I'm still questioning it. I don't know if I'm going to do that or not. I might bead the edges. I'm not sure. I just don't know. This thing has eaten my mind. It has just taken me so long to get to this point on this thing, but it's almost done. So I can hang in there. I know I can do it. Anyway, it is Blue Huron Yarns in the deep blue sea colorway. I'm checking to make sure you guys can read that. And it is a mechanized cotton, actually. The third check box there is what I'm working with. It is an Egyptian mechanized, mercerized, whatever. Y'all know that I can't read, so, well, I can, but it is 1,000 yards when I started. So it's EMC, Egyptian mercerized cotton. And I got this at a yarn store when we used to have a yarn store around here. It was still 45 minutes away from me though. So I got that right before they closed up that yarn store, and thought, what am I going to do with this? That's 1,000 yards. What am I going to do with this? And I finally found this pattern, and I thought, yeah, that'll work. It has worked so far. You can see it's all scrunched up. It's probably on a 40-inch needle, a 40-inch cable. Here's my beginning of round marker. It's a cute little key. Yay! And then I have markers for every lace repeat. Every lace repeat. And don't come off the needles, please. Thank you. And so when I get it done, I'll have to wash it and block it, and I'll show it then again. It is very hard to see when it's all scrunched up. Looks like, well, cat yak. When lace is all scrunched up on the needles like that, it looks like cat yak. These needles are size 5 US 3.75. I'll bet you can't guess the brand. Hiya Sharps. They are not a sponsor, just so you know. They could be though. You guys can get a hold of me. It'd be okay. Anyway, so we'll see how that goes when I get it done. I'll get the edging on there at some point and get it worked out. I am also right now working on a sweater design that will be a color knitting. Oh, I cannot think of the name of what I want to say right now. It will come to me tomorrow or later today. It will be a colorwork sweater. There we go. Yay! I figured it out. Colorwork. How hard is this? I've only been graphing it for days. The body of the sweater will be this lovely gray superwash merino from Cascade Yarn. It's a 220. I have several balls of this. Several. And then the contrast colors for my colorwork is going to be purple Cascade Heritage fingering weight and a ball of Desert Vista Dye Works. Name of it is If They Kill Daryl. And these will be held together double to make a worsted-ish yarn to go in the color work for my design. The yarn that I'm using for the body of the sweater will be it is a worsted weight. So if I hold these double, they will equal a worsted weight-ish for my color work. I have these all broke up into my little balls that I need. Otherwise, I would show you the big balls. But they're little balls right now. So I have little balls. Yes, I do. Anyway, so I'm going to put this away and then I'll sit here and chat with y'all. Let's get this put away in here. And you know, those headphones, I found those. I was looking for these earlier and I did not know where they had gone. Everything's all discombobulated, people. Everything. All over the place. It's just discombobulated and not with it at all. And just, I can't do it much longer. But I hope everybody's been well. We have been okay here. I know some people are having hard times right now. And I am one of those people. So life issues have arose since the last time I talked to you. So I'm not going to go into much detail about that. But let's just say I've had a lot of knitting time. And I would love to be able to go back to work pretty quick. And I hope that is right on the horizon here. Next week, I'm thinking. So that would be lovely. So what else do I know? I know that the children from the next door neighbor's house are over here riding their bike. There's a window right there that you can't see because the camera is sitting in front of it. There's a window here and I have a sidewalk. Well, the neighbors do not have a sidewalk. So their little boy, who is about 6, drives his bike back and forth on my sidewalk. So if you see me distracted, I'm just making sure they're not in the street with the cars. Not that his parents don't watch him, because they do. Excellent people. I just worry about it too. So the little guy comes over and he takes care of my puppies and all. Tomorrow we will be taking care of their puppy for them. So that'll be interesting. What else? I don't know. Oh, I should probably talk about the knit along that I have going on in my group. In my group on Ravelry, I have a year-long knit-along going on for self-striping socks. Any self-striping socks that you have knit for the entire year so far can be posted. I would prefer if people only put in one post and then just edited, but it will get way too much. So I would really like if you can do 2 or 3 pair in one picture. That would be great. If not, that's okay. But post some stuff. I will be going through as soon as we get some more people joining and maybe get some 6-month prizes away. I have some fabulous prizes from some fabulous people, including Susan of Desert Vista Dye Works, who generously donated a few skeins to my cause this year. And I've showed those on a previous episode. So, yeah, and I have a few more things in mind. But for right now, we're doing just the self-striping knit along, and I know lots of you knit self-striping socks all year long. Soon, I think I'll be starting another pair, like, tomorrow for the Desert Vista 6th annual monthly sock club for July. And then I will have my 7th pair on the needles for that particular knit along this year. Also, don't forget, if you are doing a bunch of sock knitting over the summer, there is a sock camp, a summer sock camp knit along, and that is with Kay over on the Crazy Sock Lady podcast. Go check her out if you haven't seen her already. People have been posting amazing pictures over on her Ravelry site, and it's just awesome. And she has a ton of summer sock camp theme prizes and things. You should go check out her channel. It's The Crazy Sock Lady, and she is the same name on Instagram and Ravelry. So we're going to shout out to her a little bit. I did join her summer sock camp because I figured, heck, I'm doing a bunch of socks anyway for not only Desert Vista Dye Works, but for myself. I'm trying to get ahead on my Christmas knitting, which I already started in May. So that is just great. You should really, really go check her out. She's just awesome. She has great tutorials over on her channel, and I've been enjoying watching those. So yeah, I don't know what else I can tell anybody about anything. Don't forget to, if you would like to subscribe to my channel, that would be great. I'm trying to build up a little bit of a bigger base. I'm trying my best to get videos out in a more timely manner. I am. And sometimes stuff just happens. So we're hitting about the half an hour mark here. I don't think I know of anything else that I would like to impart to y'all. So we'll just end on that note, and I'll say stay safe and be kind.